Next, we welcome a multifaceted professional whose journey blends leadership, creativity, and communication, Edy Dsouza. With over 20 years of experience in hospitality, Edy serves as the general manager and business head at Unique Steel Products, leading brands such as Kitchen Whiz and Bar Whiz. A hotel management graduate, he also co-founded Plate with Flavors, a food and travel platform. Beyond business, Edy is a seasoned drummer, professional MC, and motivational speaker. Passionate about mentoring and positive influence. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Edy Dsouza.
Well, you got to give a big round of applause to yourselves first. Kristu Jayanti College, are you excited? Wow, this is huge. This is tremendous. And I want to thank the entire team working behind this for giving an opportunity to a man who not just walked English, not just talked English, not just spoke English, but I also made it to the ranking of failing in English. And from failing in English one day to standing here at Kristu Jayanti College, it means the world to me. My credentials may be many because I've been working for over 20 years, but that's not the way I started. And I'm not here with a presentation. I'm sorry I didn't do it. But I'm here to speak something which is the truth, and that's my journey and how you can make it. From an impact or from a thought all the way to an impact. But before I move forward, to all the distinguished guests, to all the respected speakers, including myself, on behalf of the college members, I would want to promise you all one thing, including me, that at the end of the day, when people walk out of this room, nobody will remember anything. That's because that's how we are. We are made to think of things that we like. We like to remember things that we like. Our friends are based on things what work together with our thoughts. You know, there are three kinds of friends that we have. The first kind of friends, you all both have the same intention. You all both have the same likings. And that's why you're friends. Maybe you have the same background, maybe the same culture, maybe the same religion, maybe the same interests. And that's why you're friends. The second kind of friendships are those. You don't like each other much, but you have one common interest. Maybe of putting somebody down, or maybe of supporting somebody, or maybe because of this event you became friends. But the third kind of friends are very rare. And even if you have 5 such friends, consider yourself blessed. Those friends are friends who will stand with you in your ups, in your downs, in every walk of your life. When I was in your place in college, I had friends who I said, these are my friends who are going to be with me lifelong. These are my friends who are going to stand with me. They're going to be with me everywhere. I mean, we are made for each other. We are friends. BFF hashtag. 5 years down the lane when I got married, I don't even remember seeing one of them. That's the truth of life. Let me tell you something. Today where you're sitting is because of what you thought 5 years ago. What you thought 5 years ago of what I'm going to study, how I'm going to take it forward in life, is the impact of why you're sitting here. Where you're going to be 5 years from now is going to be an impact of what you're thinking today. Nobody can do this for you. But it's going to be the thought of what you want to do today. The problem is that most of us spend a lot of time thinking. 20 years back when I came to Bangalore, I came thinking I'm moving into a good city, a better lifestyle. Maybe one day I'll make it in life. I'll have good salary. I'll build my own house. I'll get married, and I don't know what else I thought about. But the problem was that all of this was wonderful. It was so dreamy, and it remained only in my thoughts. 90% of what we do is we only think. If you go to any corporate world, and if you go for the chai breaks, or they call it the smoking break, if you go to any smoking zone or any tea zone, you will hear 90% of corporate employees, including many of you working here, would discuss saying that it's time to do our own business. How long will you work with somebody? Why don't we do something of our own? And in that 90%, 50% people speak about, look at this chaiwala. How much he's earning? In a day, at least 1,000 cups. Into 10 rupees. 3 lakhs a month. Why to do all college? Am I right? With this chai, if I can add samosa, puffs. Instead of puffs, we say pups. Imagine the business we get. And how much more money will I make? Wow, that's a great thought. Trust me, I work with entrepreneurs in the food industry. I've set up so many commercial kitchens, restaurants, and bars. I've been part of setting up Asia's largest brewery, where there are 3,000 people dining at every single point of time. If those owners would have only thought and not done anything about their thought, they would have remained on their chairs today. Most of us, when we go out, we have great thoughts. It may be with the roads for Bangalore. It may be with anything that you see around. You have great thoughts, you have great visions, you have great dreams. My question is, what are you doing about that thought? What are you doing? Oh, sir, I'm waiting for the perfect thought. I'm waiting for the perfect plan. I'm waiting for the perfect timing. Well, I've got some great news for you. It's never coming. It is never going to come to you. If you have a good thought, it's a good place to start. If you have a small thought, it's a good place to start. Don't wait till you get that perfect thought, perfect plan, perfect investment. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Trust me, I have worked a lot and I've seen it. Take that step of faith and start where you are. And you'll see so many things happening. Bangalore is known for a city of startups. Bangalore is known for this. So many startups. There are 100 people who start restaurants every day, and there are 100 who close down every day. There are both sides of it. My wife and I have been influencers, and we have a social media page where we've tasted food from across cuisines. We've tasted Michelin star chefs. We've tasted even the canteens and the military hotels and the Gouda style, the Malika biryani. Very good. Yeah. They didn't pay me for any promotions, just to be clear. But in all of this, we've seen passion. We've seen people with passion. Trust me, I've tasted food from some of the master chefs. Without naming any of them, some of their food is not really great. There are chefs who've cooked better food than that. I've gone to villages, homes, and towns where I've tasted food from the local cuisine, and I've seen such tasty food, and I've tasted such tasty food. Why? Because it's a passion. It's not just about the money. It doesn't just become about business. It's a passion. Today, I'm standing in a room where I can see 1 million ideas in this room. Everybody sitting here has a thought, has an idea. Some of you have a good idea of saying, now is a good time to walk out of this room. But some of you all are saying, okay, yeah, maybe the thought we had of starting this project, maybe the thought we had of starting this business is a good idea. This is a good time to do it. Well, let me encourage you. Start. Start it somewhere. Or what about the investment? What about the money for it? Well, a mentor of mine told me this many years back, and it's worked perfectly in my life. And he said this, and if you want to remember one thing of today, of anybody, whatever they said, then my request is please remember this one line. If it is God's will, it is God's bill. You understand this? If it is God's will, then it is His bill. He will pay for it. And if it is not His will, then you please pay for it. You understand? I will tell you a little story, but of how your thoughts and impacts may vary. Not everybody standing here, especially me, have been successful throughout my life. We've seen failures, we've seen ups, we've seen downs. I've had customers who've given me the best of best rewards in terms of saying, wow, you are the person who helped me. At the same time, I've had customers who've abused for various reasons. And that's the part of life. I'm sure everybody sitting here in the front row would agree that it's not always fancy. There's always going to be ups and downs. I met an entrepreneur last evening. We were having a very strong discussion, and he said, the first 6 years of my life of running this business, I made a lot of mistakes. I made people work for more than 15 hours because it was my own money. I had to work. I couldn't think of working 8 hours. I had to make the money back to pay them. So I did a lot of mistakes. I was strict. I was abusive. And he said, it spoiled my own business. But it took me 6 years to understand I had to change. I had to change. My company didn't have to change. We are the reason for today's situation. What you're going to do and think today is going to be an impact of what you're going to be 5 years later. It's not that, okay, kal sochenge, tomorrow we will see. I hope in the next 5 years, I'll get to meet most of you as entrepreneurs, as people who are doing something in life which is close to your heart and you're passionate about. But speaking about failures, speaking about positivities of doing something, speaking about thoughts to impact, I'll share a small story and I'll tell you of how your thoughts and your impact can be very difficult. There was a mother who was of little age. She had lost her husband and she had 3 sons, all of them working and doing well in life. The mother really worked hard to bring them up and give them good education and good life. And now it was coming to be her birthday. So the 3 sons thought of giving her something that she will remember for life. The first son said, it's because of my mother. Today I'm in such a good position. I have a roof above my head. And so I'm going to build a very luxurious house for my mother to live in. And he built a very nice house. He purchased a very good house, a big house, a luxurious mansion, and he gave it to his mother and said, happy birthday, Mom. The second son said, wow, in this kind of temperatures, in this kind of weather, my mom, I know she loves to travel. I'm going to give her a superb car. I'm going to buy her a luxurious car where she can sit comfortably, she'd have a driver, everything would be taken care of, and that's what I'm going to give her. He gives her a good car and says, happy birthday, Mom. And the third son says, I know how much my mom loves to speak. My mom loves to speak. She doesn't stop if she starts, and she loves to listen to people. It's so nice. So, because I'm so busy in life, and I cannot be speaking to her always, I'm going to buy her a parrot, which is going to be trained to speak very well. And so he buys a parrot, gets the parrot trained very well, and gifts it to his mother and says, happy birthday, Mom. How many of you agree that all the three thoughts were excellent? All right, let me change a few things. This is yes. Can we all do this? This is yes. This is no. Can you all do this? No. And this is I don't care. All right. So, great. Good thought. All the three sons, great thought. Now, let's go to the impact. Right? That's the whole title. TedX, from thought to impact. The thought is that my mother needs to live in a good house. One thinks that my mother needs to travel well. One thinks my mother needs a companion to speak to. Now the impact. The mother writes a letter to all the three sons saying thank you. And to each son, she had different words written. To the oldest, she said, "Son, thank you so much for such a big house. But I'm of much age now. All I need is a small place to sleep, a little food to eat, and that's it. So I don't know what I'll do with such a big mansion. My suggestion is, why don't you stay in it, and I'll go and stay in my same old house." To the second, she writes, "Son, my days of traveling are over. I can hardly walk. Your car is great, but I don't understand it. It's too big for me. I don't know. I can't even go anywhere. Especially Bangalore roads, impossible. In the evening time, trying going from here to cross the signal near Brigade, so difficult." And she says, "Thank you so much for this. I can't do it." And to the third, she writes back a beautiful letter. And now listen to this very carefully, because this is where your thoughts to impact will change. She says, "Son, thank you so much. You are the only one who knew exactly what I want. It's because of you I had the best meal of last night." Did you understand it? The parrot became the dinner for her for last night. She didn't know it was something to speak to her. She just thought her son sent her something to make a good meal. Well, while you have great thoughts, you have to understand there are impacts to it also. Remember when I close, if it's God's will, it's God's bill. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. My name is Edy Dsouza.
Let's give a huge round of applause to Mr. Edy Dsouza for giving food to our thoughts to impact. I now request respected Dr. Kalai Selvi, Program Coordinator, to present a memento and certificate to our esteemed speaker as a token of appreciation from Kristu Jayanti University. Thank you, ma'am.